Hey, what's going on, guys? Steve here. I just wanted to go over the big old controversy that's going around about the sharpness of the image with the Pocket 4K. So since the Pocket 4K has moved over to Blackmagic RAW, a lot of us have noticed that it's a slightly soft image. I have to tell you this. The soft image I actually really don't mind for the more cinematic effect when you're out there kind of in a run and gun trying to just grab clips, filming humans, those kinds of things. It's beautiful. I actually don't even mess with any of that sharpening. However, on a recent project I've received, I'm actually shooting an interior right here. You can see this house is for sale. It's like a real estate videography sort of gig. And the image is not very sharp. This lens is not out of focus. It's just kind of unsharp. I'm shooting raw 12:1. This right here went straight into an SD card and it went right onto the gimbal. This shot right here. And I love packing light, and I'm always trying my best to do the best possible image with the lightest amount of gear that I can pack. So that means that I wasn't carrying an SSD, an extra battery, another screen, or anything like that. This is straight off the camera, shooting an interior, right onto an SSD card with 12:1 raw. Okay, so the sharpness here is it's not here. We're just not seeing it. In fact, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, and I know it almost looks like the camera's out of focus. It's not. The focus point is probably at about the foot of the bed, give or take, and it just kind of doesn't look like it. It's a little bit of a soft image, and that's fine. Again, if we were shooting humans, it wouldn't be a big deal. However, I'm looking to have this entire scene fairly sharp feeling. All right. If you are not using DaVinci Resolve yet, I wanted to give some quick advice. Go to the Blackmagic website, download it, double click on DaVinci Resolve, and just push all the buttons. You're not going to break it. There's tons of people that are like, oh, like, how do I start with DaVinci Resolve? Oh, what do I do here? You just have to download it and get right into it. Drag your clips right in. It's so similar to Premiere Pro. Just drag things in. Click on this here color tab. You're coloring things. It's really quite simple. Just get in there and get it done. There's plenty of videos on it. Just at least start. Anyways, okay. So here we are. We're in the color tab. I have this frame, and I'm going to just click Alt S. It's going to add another node for me on the right-hand side of this original color grade. I'm going to take the sharpen. I'm just going to drop this sharpen right on top of that node. Now, on the right, you're going to see sharpen amount, fine detail size, fine details, medium details, large details, sharpen chroma, be careful with that one, and blend. Okay. Now, sharpening is so much more difficult than noise reduction, if you were to ask me. You've got to be super classy about this kind of stuff here. So, the sharpen amount is almost like preamp in a microphone. This is the amount of effect that is getting fed to the image. The higher that we have this, the more that the fine detail size, fine details, medium details, and large details, these effects right here are getting fed into the image through this slider right here. This is, like I said, it's almost like preamp. So we want to just kind of like jack this up a little bit just to kind of see what we're working with. I'm going to pump it up to like halfway. It's going to look kind of ridiculous, but we're going to work with this because we want to see the worst case scenario here. Okay, so the fine detail size, I'm going to bring this down significantly. We're at 0.025 as far as the size. The fine details themselves, I'm going to bring up just a little tiny bit, about 0.3. And then I'm also going to just barely touch the medium details here, just barely. We should be at like 0.1 to 0.2. Every scene is going to be just a little bit different. Now, I know this scene looks way over sharp. All the noise is just like ripping through. It looks a little bit ridiculous. I totally understand that. So we're going to back down the entire effect. But I feel like the edges, the textures, the carpet, everything that you see here, I feel like this is like the right amount of sharpening characteristics that I want in this scene. I'm going to bring the sharpness amount down just a little bit. Actually, quite a bit. So I'm going to be at about 1.5, give or take there. All right, now you can see that I've brought this down quite a bit, 1.5. I'm going to show you what it looks like before and after. Now, of course, it's going to show you the original grade of how it was shot. So there is some color grading that has been done in the scene, but try your best to take a look at the sharpness. It might not show through YouTube, but just take a look anyways. So this is before, and this is after. I feel like the edges are a little bit more sharp, a little bit more detail, a little bit more grit in the scene. Now, this is just from having the sharpen amount to about 1.5 with the characteristics of the detail levels coming through. I'm actually going to increase the sharpness amount, even though it looks a little ridiculous right now. It's at 1.5. I'm actually going to take it to about 2. Okay, now it looks beyond. It's awful. Never ever send anything out that looks like this right here. I don't recommend it. We're just kind of looking for that on-body camera sharpness. This is not what we're going for. But we're going to finish the effect with this blend right down here. There's a reason that they put it at the end. It's because you want to finish with this effect. Right now the blend is at 0. And what I want to do is I want to kind of find that natural balance between this crazy sharpening effect and what I feel looks good. So I'm going to slide this blend over, and I'm blending out quite a bit of it. I'm actually at about 0.6. And I feel like this is a nice sharpness that would come from an on-body sharpness setting. And for some of us that were shooting Cinema DNG back in the day, this was the kind of level of sharpness that we were seeing that we kind of missed. So here it is. Let me just kind of go to the before and after. So before, take a look at the edges of the sheets here, and after. So the effect is definitely not ridiculous once we've used the global blend. Like I said, I'm at about 5.6. Yeah, this is it's a little bit of an art. My settings should not dictate how you should be handling sharpness. But the summary of the video here is that, yes, we did lose a little bit of sharpness when we went to Blackmagic RAW. There is a way to get it back. Of course, we're in DaVinci Resolve, and don't be afraid to play with some of these sharpen settings, from the detail size to all of the amount of details that are coming through, and then blend it back in. I'm really hoping to see Blackmagic bring in some sort of native sharpening to the Pocket 4K. Of course, also with the Ursa Mini Pro and the brand new G2 that's going to be coming out. Pretty excited about that. I hope you guys all hate this video, and make sure to thumbs down it when you do. If you found this to be a little bit of informative and long, man, just give me a little thumbs up. I would love that. Anyways, it's been great talking to you guys, and we'll see you in the forums. We'll talk to you soon.